If you are a senior trying to lower blood pressure naturally, the one drink that could make the biggest difference may be something you have never thought to try. Most seniors managing hypertension focus on what they eat and completely overlook what they drink every single day. But one specific drink, studied in multiple randomized controlled trials, has been shown to produce reductions in blood pressure comparable to low-dose medication in older adults with mild to moderate hypertension. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which drink it is, how it works inside your cardiovascular system at the biological level, and the precise way to prepare and time it for maximum effect. Stay to the end because there is a bonus tip on one simple addition that makes this drink significantly more powerful. The drink I am talking about is hibiscus tea. And I know some of you may not have heard much about it for blood pressure. But the research behind hibiscus and hypertension is more specific and more robust than most people expect from a simple herbal tea that costs very little and takes 3 minutes to prepare. Hibiscus tea has been studied in multiple randomized controlled trials for its effect on blood pressure in adults over 55. The results are consistent enough that cardiovascular researchers now rank it as the most evidence-supported herbal drink for blood pressure reduction in seniors. Most people think of hibiscus as a tart, pleasant tea. What most people do not know is that it contains bioactive compounds that address blood pressure through 3 distinct biological mechanisms. Understanding those mechanisms is what separates seniors who see real results from those who drink it occasionally and notice nothing. The first mechanism is the one that surprised researchers the most when they began studying hibiscus closely. Hibiscus contains compounds called anthocyanins and organic acids, particularly hibiscus acid. Together, these compounds inhibit an enzyme in your body called angiotensin-converting enzyme, or ACE. ACE plays a direct role in raising blood pressure. When ACE is active, it converts a substance in your blood called angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 is a powerful vasoconstrictor. It signals your blood vessels to tighten and narrow. Narrower blood vessels mean higher pressure because the same volume of blood is being pushed through a smaller space. When ACE is inhibited, that conversion does not happen efficiently. Your blood vessels stay more relaxed and your blood pressure comes down. This is precisely the mechanism that a major class of prescription blood pressure medications called ACE inhibitors uses. These are among the most widely prescribed blood pressure drugs in the world. This natural remedy for hypertension works on the same biological target through natural food compounds rather than synthetic molecules. That is why cardiologists researching dietary interventions have been paying close attention to it. But here is what most people do not realize: ACE activity increases with age. As we get older, the renin-angiotensin system becomes more active, and this is one of the specific biological reasons blood pressure climbs after 60. It is a measurable shift in how the body regulates vascular tone. Hibiscus directly addresses that shift. The second mechanism involves fluid volume. One of the ways blood pressure rises is through excess fluid in the circulation. When your body holds onto more fluid than it needs, the extra volume presses against the walls of your arteries. That pressing is your blood pressure reading going up. Managing fluid balance is one of the most direct ways to manage blood pressure. Hibiscus tea has a mild and natural diuretic effect. It helps your kidneys filter and remove excess fluid from your body more efficiently. Less fluid in circulation means less pressure on your artery walls. This is again the same principle behind a class of commonly prescribed blood pressure medications called diuretics, often called water pills. Hibiscus produces a gentler version of that effect naturally, without the electrolyte disruption that pharmaceutical diuretics can cause in older adults. This is particularly relevant for seniors. Many people over 60 have a degree of fluid retention they are not aware of. It contributes quietly to elevated blood pressure readings day after day. Hibiscus tea, when consumed consistently, helps reduce this chronic low-level fluid retention and takes some of that constant pressure off the cardiovascular system. People over 60 are also more sensitive to the blood pressure effects of sodium than younger adults. Excess sodium causes the body to hold onto fluid directly. Hibiscus supports the kidney function that clears excess sodium and the fluid that comes with it, addressing the sodium and fluid balance that drives so much of the elevated blood pressure seen in older adults. The third mechanism involves antioxidants and their effect on the inner walls of your blood vessels. Hibiscus is one of the richest sources of antioxidants found in any commonly consumed drink. The deep red color of hibiscus tea comes from a class of antioxidants called anthocyanins. These are the same type of antioxidants found in blueberries and red wine, but hibiscus tea contains them in significantly higher concentrations. Here is why this matters for blood pressure. Your blood vessels are lined with a thin layer of cells called the endothelium. These endothelial cells produce a molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is one of the most important molecules for cardiovascular health in the body. It signals the smooth muscle surrounding your arteries to relax and expand. When your arteries relax and expand, blood flows through them more easily and pressure drops. The problem is that oxidative stress damages endothelial cells and reduces their ability to produce nitric oxide. Oxidative stress is chronically elevated in older adults with hypertension. It is one of the key biological reasons artery walls become stiffer and less responsive as we age. The anthocyanins in hibiscus protect endothelial cells from this damage, help restore endothelial function, and support the nitric oxide production that keeps blood vessels flexible and responsive. So hibiscus works on all three major pathways that drive high blood pressure in older adults. It inhibits ACE to prevent vessel tightening, it supports fluid removal to reduce volume pressure, and it protects the endothelial cells that produce the nitric oxide your arteries need to stay relaxed and open. That three-pathway action is why the research on hibiscus for blood pressure in seniors is so consistently strong. Let us look at what the clinical evidence actually shows, because this is where hibiscus separates itself from herbal teas that simply claim to support health without any real data behind them. A randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Nutrition followed adults with pre-hypertension and mild hypertension over 6 weeks. One group drank 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily, the other group drank a placebo beverage. At the end of 6 weeks, the hibiscus group showed an average reduction of 7.2 points in systolic blood pressure compared to the placebo group. The effect was most pronounced in participants over 55 with the highest baseline readings, that is the population this channel serves directly. A separate study published in Phytomedicine compared daily hibiscus tea consumption to a low dose of captopril, which is a commonly prescribed ACE inhibitor medication. After 4 weeks, both groups showed similar reductions in blood pressure. The hibiscus group achieved results statistically comparable to the medication group. A natural drink performing comparably to a pharmaceutical drug in a controlled trial is not a common finding. It is why this research drew significant attention from the cardiovascular nutrition community. A broader review looking at multiple hibiscus studies together found that the blood pressure lowering effect was consistent across different populations, but was most reliable and most clinically meaningful in older adults with elevated baseline readings. The reviewers noted that the ACE inhibiting compounds and the antioxidant load in hibiscus both have mechanisms that become more relevant as the cardiovascular system ages. In other words, hibiscus tea works better for the people who need it most. Before we go further, tell me in the comments where you are watching from and how long you have been managing high blood pressure. If this is already making sense of something you have been frustrated about for a long time, subscribe to Cardivive and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. If this is helping, type great in the comments or improve if it does not. How you prepare hibiscus tea and when you drink it matters more than most people assume. Getting both right is what separates seniors who see measurable reductions in their readings from those who try it for a few weeks and notice nothing. Start with quantity. The clinical trial showing the strongest blood pressure reductions used 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily as the standard dose. This was consistent across the most reliable studies. 1 cup a day provides some antioxidant benefit, but is unlikely to produce the kind of blood pressure reductions documented in research. 3 cups spread across the day is the dose the evidence supports. The preparation itself matters. Use dried whole hibiscus flowers or pure hibiscus petals rather than commercial tea bags that blend hibiscus with other herbs. Add 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried hibiscus to 8 ounces of hot but not boiling water. Boiling water degrades some of the bioactive compounds. Steep for 5 to 10 minutes. The longer you steep, the more concentrated the effect. Strain and drink without sugar. Adding sugar counteracts the cardiovascular benefit by raising blood glucose and promoting vascular inflammation. Timing matters significantly. Drinking 1 cup 30 to 60 minutes before your morning blood pressure peak positions the ACE inhibiting effect during the window when your cardiovascular system is under the most pressure. Most people over 60 see their highest readings between 6 and 10 in the morning. A second cup with lunch extends the blood pressure support through the midday hours. A third cup in the late afternoon maintains the effect into the overnight period. Hibiscus tea can be drunk hot or cold. Cold brewed hibiscus steeped overnight in the refrigerator retains the active compounds fully, and many seniors find it easier to drink consistently throughout the day when it is prepared cold in a large batch. Make a full day supply the evening before so it is ready when you wake up. Have you tried hibiscus tea before? Tell us in the comments below what your experience has been. Here is something worth knowing before we continue. Hibiscus tea is powerful on its own, but it reaches its full potential when the foods you eat every day are supporting your blood vessels rather than quietly working against them. That is why I put together a complete heart health nutrition guide in my Etsy shop. It covers the specific foods shown to lower blood pressure in seniors, the foods most people think are heart healthy, but the research says otherwise, and the ones you should limit if you want to protect your arteries for the long term. The link is in the description. Here is the part most health content skips. And it is exactly why so many seniors try hibiscus tea and feel no benefit. The mistakes that reduce the effect are not obvious. Most people making them have no idea anything is wrong. The first and most common mistake is drinking only 1 cup a day. 1 cup delivers a fraction of the bioactive compounds the clinical trials used. The research consistently used 3 cups daily. Anything less substantially reduces the measurable effect on blood pressure. If you are serious about using hibiscus for your blood pressure, 3 cups a day is not optional. It is the dose the evidence supports. The second mistake is using the wrong product. Most commercial hibiscus tea bags are blended with other herbs, flavored with artificial ingredients, and contain far less actual hibiscus than you need. Some products labeled as hibiscus tea contain very little hibiscus at all. Always look for dried hibiscus flowers or pure hibiscus petals with no added ingredients. The label should say nothing but hibiscus. This is the form used in every clinical trial that produced meaningful results. The third mistake is adding a lot of sugar. Hibiscus is naturally tart, and the instinct is to sweeten it. But significant amounts of sugar raise blood glucose, promote vascular inflammation, and work directly against the blood pressure lowering effect you are trying to create. If you need to make it more palatable, start with a very small amount of raw honey and reduce it over time as your taste adjusts. Most people stop needing sweetener within 2 to 3 weeks. The fourth mistake is expecting results in the first week. The ACE inhibiting effect of hibiscus begins from the first cup, but the endothelial recovery and reduction in chronic vascular inflammation that produce the most durable improvements take consistent daily use over 4 to 6 weeks to show up clearly in your monitored readings. Commit to 45 days minimum before evaluating results. The fifth mistake involves medication interactions. Hibiscus lowers blood pressure through real physiological pathways. If you are taking blood pressure medication, diuretics, or any drug that affects kidney function, speak with your doctor before adding 3 cups of hibiscus tea to your daily routine. The combined effect may lower your blood pressure more than your current medication dose accounts for. That is a positive outcome, but it needs medical oversight. If this content is helping, please take a moment to hit that thumbs up button right now. It helps this video reach someone else who is managing blood pressure and wondering why nothing they try seems to move the numbers. It takes 1 second and it genuinely makes a difference. Here is the bonus tip I promised at the start. And this is the piece that almost all content about hibiscus tea and blood pressure completely misses. Hibiscus is powerful on its own, but its blood pressure lowering effect is significantly amplified when you combine it with one specific addition in the same cup. That addition is a small amount of fresh lemon juice. Add half a lemon squeezed into your hibiscus tea, particularly in the morning cup. Here is exactly why this works so well. Lemon juice is rich in vitamin C and hesperidin, a flavonoid with its own vasodilating properties. Research has shown that vitamin C improves endothelial function and supports nitric oxide availability in adults with hypertension. When you add lemon juice to hibiscus, you are combining the ACE-inhibiting effect of hibiscus with a boost to nitric oxide production. These two mechanisms work through different biological pathways, and their combined effect on arterial relaxation is additive. There is a second reason this combination works. Vitamin C enhances the absorption of the anthocyanins from hibiscus in the digestive system. More anthocyanins absorbed means more antioxidant protection reaching the endothelial cells in your artery walls. The lemon juice is not just adding its own benefit, it is also making the hibiscus work more efficiently inside your body. More of the active compound gets through. The practical application is simple. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into your morning cup of hibiscus tea after steeping. Do not add it during steeping, as heat degrades some of the vitamin C. Add it after the tea has cooled slightly. This takes 10 seconds and meaningfully amplifies the cardiovascular effect of every morning cup. Before we wrap up, I want to come back to the Heart Health Nutrition Guide in my Etsy shop. Hibiscus tea delivers its strongest effect when the rest of your daily diet is supporting your arteries rather than working against them. The guide covers the exact food combinations that amplify the blood pressure benefits of hibiscus tea, the foods most seniors managing hypertension eat every day that are quietly raising their numbers, and what to limit if you want to see real long-term results. The link is in the description. Setting accurate expectations matters here because the timeline of improvement from consistent hibiscus tea does not match what most people hope to see in the first few days. Before you begin, commit to at least 45 days of consistent daily use at 3 cups a day. That is the minimum time required for both the acute ACE-inhibiting effects and the slower endothelial recovery and inflammation reduction to complete enough of a full cycle to show up clearly in your daily readings. In weeks 1 and 2, most seniors notice their readings are slightly more stable day to day. The ACE-inhibiting and diuretic effects are working from the first cup, but the deeper structural improvements have not had enough time to develop. Do not evaluate the protocol during this window. Keep a simple daily log of your morning reading. Looking back across 4 weeks shows you the real trend rather than the daily fluctuations that cause people to quit too early. By weeks 3 and 4, most seniors drinking hibiscus tea consistently report that their morning readings are trending lower. The chronic fluid retention that was quietly contributing to their baseline pressure is reducing. The endothelial cells are recovering their ability to produce nitric oxide more reliably. The arterial inflammation is calming, the trend becomes visible, but the full structural benefit is still building. By weeks 6 to 8, the full combined effect is typically visible in home monitoring data. Average readings are often 6 to 10 points lower than at the start. Seniors who also use the lemon addition consistently report improvements at the higher end of that range. Seniors who are simultaneously reducing their sodium intake and processed food consumption see the most significant results of all. Here is what I want you to take away from today. The drink that lowers blood pressure naturally for seniors is not a wellness trend. It is hibiscus tea, a simple, affordable herbal drink that works on your cardiovascular system through 3 distinct biological mechanisms. It inhibits the enzyme that tightens your blood vessels, it helps your kidneys clear excess fluid that raises pressure, and its antioxidants protect the artery wall cells that produce the nitric oxide your blood pressure depends on. High blood pressure in seniors is not random, it is driven by specific biological processes, and those processes respond to specific interventions. Hibiscus tea addresses 3 of the most important ones simultaneously. The research is solid. The mechanism is clear. And starting tonight requires nothing more than ordering dried hibiscus flowers online or picking them up at a health food store. The seniors who see the most meaningful results are not the ones who try hibiscus for a few days and reassess. They are the ones who commit to 45 to 60 days of consistent daily use at 3 cups a day, track their readings every morning, and let the biology work. Start today. Be consistent. Give your body the time it needs. If this video gave you a clearer picture of what to drink to lower your blood pressure naturally as a senior, and what you can start today to make a real difference, please share it with someone you know who is managing high blood pressure. So many seniors are looking for natural approaches and have never been given clear research-backed options. Subscribe to Cardivive and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for trusting me with your precious time and your heart health. I will see you in the next video.